Here are the 4 key differences between organised and disorganised serial killers. And I promise you it's got nothing to do with the file of facts. 1. Planning and execution. 2. The crime scenes that they leave behind. 3. Victim selection. Number 4. Psychological profile and intelligence. Okay, so let me dissect these factors for you, my crumbly little cookies. Number 1, planning and execution. So organised killers meticulously plan their crimes. They might have a very specific victim in mind, or at least they know exactly where and when they're going to commit their evil deeds, and they wait around for the perfect opportunity. Organised killers don't want to take risks, and they put in a lot of forethought and organisation not to get caught. They might even literally carry a murder kit around with them. In contrast, disorganised serial killers act more impulsively and chaotically because their actions are fueled by anger and rage. They get a sudden murderous kind of urge that they feel they have to act upon immediately. A bit like explosive diarrhea. Number 2, crime scenes. So organised killers often attempt to control the crime scene. They might lure their victim into a specific geographical area or location which they know well and they can clean up afterwards because they feel comfortable around there. Or they might actually just move the bodies of their victims to intentionally minimize the trail of breadcrumbs that they leave behind. Whilst disorganized killers leave behind more evidence. So their crimes often reflect their mental state, and as I said, they may be fueled by anger and rage. So they just want to get the hell out of Dodge. They want to leave the scene immediately as opposed to getting rid of fingerprints or blood stains. Number 3, victim selections. So organised killers may target specific victim type. Maybe they have a hatred for a certain group of people, like those people with fake smiles who force you into conversation on the high street to sign you up to some charity. Or maybe they pick on vulnerable or weak-looking individuals. In contrast, disorganised serial killers may select victims more randomly, somebody who's basically in the wrong place at the wrong time. They're also better at kind of adapting to the environment because of their impulsivity. So maybe if they took a different path, they would actually make quite good Boy Scouts. Number 4, psychological profile. So organised killers tend to be more intelligent and socially adept. They blend into society like a murderous, vile chameleon, which, as any vet will tell you, are the worst kind. So an organised killer could be your friendly neighbour, or they could work at your local Greggs serving you lukewarm cheese and onion pasty. Whereas disorganised killers may exhibit signs of mental instability. They may appear bizarre and they might live on the fringes of society. Basically, that weird dude in a trench coat that everyone thinks is a bit off and crosses the street whenever they see him. I should point out that this classification, organised versus disorganised, is quite old, and some people say it's a bit too random and it's a bit too vague. A bit like that time that you got really drunk at a wedding and insisted on giving a speech even though you weren't the best.